Welcome back to the show, everybody. Recently, somebody asked me to do a video on Cottonmouth myths. There's plenty of myths, misconceptions, and misinformation, and just downright outrageous, like urban legends when it comes to cottonmouths. And when we're talking about cottonmouths, we're talking about the two species native to the United States that many people are familiar with, the northern cottonmouth and the Florida cottonmouth. And we're not going to debate taxonomy in this video. We're going to talk about and break down the more common myths associated with these venomous pit vipers. So let's jump right in and discuss the myths surrounding the cottonmouth. For those people who believe that they've been chased by a cottonmouth, I don't think there's anything that I can say here that will ever get you to change your mind. But for those people who are seriously interested in learning about snakes and that have an open mind to learning, ask anybody who has experience working with wild cottonmouths or pretty much any snake. They simply do not chase people. It just doesn't happen. What's really happening is a misinterpretation of snake behavior, and fear also creates the greatest of illusions. When we're scared of something, we tend to exaggerate so we can kind of validate those fears and those stories that we heard growing up. But the fact is, ask anybody who spends time in the field with these snakes, they don't chase people. As a matter of fact, most of the time, they stand their ground in a defensive posture, such as seen in here in this photo that we're all familiar with. The gaping of the mouth, the showing of the white interior of the mouth. The idea is to startle a predator. And as soon as that cottonmouth gets an opening to flee in the opposite direction, it usually does. Now, there are some individuals, if they're cornered, if they feel like they don't have another choice, they will kind of strike out towards a person. Of course, they're defending themselves. We're a giant predator in the snake's eyes. And some snakes will do like a mock charge. Some snakes will move towards a human out of curiosity. And there are cases of cottonmouths coming towards a human because they've been conditioned to recognize humans as a food source, because there are people, fishermen, who will throw fish for water snakes and cottonmouths. So they learn that if they see a human, they might get a free meal and they'll come towards people. Cottonmouths have also been known to climb aboard kayaks and try to get into boats and canoes. Again, this may be misinterpreted as a chase, but in reality, the snake doesn't understand that there's people on board. The snake is looking at a place to haul out, get some sun, and get some rest, and that's all it is. So it's a misinterpretation of snake behavior when people think they're being chased by a snake. And like I said, fear causes the greatest of illusions. For those people, as far as being aggressive goes, the word aggressive is not really the right word when referencing the behavior of these snakes. They're defensive, and some of them can be very defensive. Sometimes we call that being hyper defensive. When a cottonmouth is cornered, when a cottonmouth is approached, when someone's trying to pick up a cottonmouth or kill it or move it, of course it's going to defend itself. It's going to strike out because the snake is fearing for its life. In the eyes of a cottonmouth, a human is a giant predator. They don't understand if we're only trying to help it move across the road, or even if we're just simply walking by to a hidden, coiled up cottonmouth. A foot landing next to a cottonmouth, that's a threat. That's a predatory threat in the eyes of a cottonmouth. And a lot of times, humans, we like to try to project our emotions and our way of thinking onto a snake, and we can't do that. The snake does not think like we do. The snake is in survival mode, acting upon instinct to defend itself. So no, snakes, cottonmouths do not chase people, and they're not overly aggressive. They don't purposely seek us out. They don't come after us to kill us, which a lot of people believe. This is another rampant myth and misconception. People all over the United States have stories of, I saw a cottonmouth, cottonmouths live here, there's no doubt about it. When in reality, both species of cottonmouth are restricted to the range that you see here on this map. And even in some states where the cottonmouth lives, such as in the Carolinas, Georgia, Tennessee, they are limited to certain regions of those states, certain habitats in those states. And there is a very common belief that, well, snakes can just live anywhere. And the reality is, most of them can't. Some are very adaptable. The cottonmouth is not. It is restricted to certain microclimates, microhabitats, prey availability, water quality, etc., etc. So this notion that copperheads live everywhere and anywhere, I'm from Connecticut, I've heard it all my life. People in the Northeast have heard it all their life. And it's a constant battle to get people to understand that these snakes have a limited range and they don't just occur anywhere. A lot of it, of course, is my mistaken identity. People are seeing water snakes of the genus Nerodia, and they're automatically assuming because the snake is in the water, it must be a water moccasin or a cottonmouth. Again, very common misconception, and something that we are constantly fighting against when trying to educate people about these snakes. This one I've covered in depth in my cottonmouth variation video. Go check out my past videos and you'll be able to find that one. Check it out. Yes, there's a very common belief that all cottonmouths are very dark in color or almost black, and many of them are. However, that's not always the case. In certain regions of the United States, especially in Virginia, North Carolina, the cottonmouth can be very colorful. Yes, there's a very common belief, such as this specimen right here from Virginia with a nice golden color to it. And here's another nice golden specimen from Virginia. And juvenile cottonmouths are also very vividly colored. They may darken as they age, like I said, and some do completely turn black, but not always. There are colorful cottonmouths out there. So this is just yet another myth and misconception. So those were 3 very common cottonmouth myths. There are many more to cover in future videos. I hope you learned something. My mission is education. So please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Give it a thumbs up, leave a comment, and share the video. Help me spread education. Fear can be replaced with knowledge and understanding of these snakes. Thanks for watching, and happy Halloween.